Good evening. Welcome to South Asia Newsline. I'm Arjun Chowdhury. Here are the top stories we're tracking for you on Thursday, the 4th of February. Sri Lanka celebrates 68th Independence Day. IMF agrees to delay privatization of Pakistan International Airlines. And Bangladesh accuses Pakistan of violating Geneva Convention amid souring diplomatic ties. And now for all the details. In the face of the indefinite suspension of flight operations of Pakistan's national carrier, Pakistan International Airlines or the PIAA, the airline management has hired 4 passenger planes to bring back hundreds of Pakistani pilgrims stranded in Jeddah. The suspension comes in the wake of the protest called by PIAA employees who are opposing the government's decision to privatize the airline.
The 4 Boeing 747 jumbo planes will fly on Friday and bring 2,000 pilgrims from Saudi Arabia's Jeddah to Karachi and Islamabad. An agreement in this regard had been finalized with Saudi Airlines, said a spokesperson for the PIAA. The PIAA is also in final stages of negotiations with Etihad Airways and Turkish Airlines to facilitate passengers going to and coming from Europe, America and Canada as a backup plan, added the spokesperson. This comes as flight operations of the Pakistan's national carrier were suspended indefinitely across the country on Wednesday, with more than 100 flights being cancelled amid sporadic protests by PIAA employees against the decision to privatize the airline. Currently, the PIAA is under a deficit of around $200 million and its revenues have declined by 9% during the last 1 year. Its operational costs are also too high compared with the other successful airlines of the world. The employees have been urging the government to provide them a chance to reform the airline before taking the drastic step. Earlier on Tuesday, 3 PIAA employees were killed while protesting when they came face to face with law enforcers in Karachi.
Meanwhile, Pakistan and the International Monetary Fund or the IMF are said to have reached an understanding to delay privatization of Pakistan International Airlines, allowing the government to review the policy that has drawn the ire of the airline employees. However, the understanding is subject to approval of the IMF management and executive board. The IMF has also reportedly agreed to release a $497 million tranche for Pakistan after the latest review of a bailout package awarded in 2013. Once the latest disbursement is made, the IMF will still have to release $1.1 billion of the total $6.7 billion loan agreed 3 years ago. According to reports, the national flag carrier has incurred an estimated loss of $25 million as its flights have been grounded. Indian Interior Minister has targeted Pakistan for failing to curb export of terror to India. India was rocked by terror attacks in Mumbai in 2008 and in Pathankot early this year.
India's Interior Minister Rajnath Singh asked Pakistan to take sincere and concrete steps to rein in various terror groups operating against India from its soil. Speaking at the counter-terrorism conference in country's western city of Jaipur, Singh on Wednesday said that the 2008 Mumbai terror attack and the recent attack on Indian airbase, both allegedly carried out by Pakistan-based outfits, have led to a significant tectonic shift for India.
In the recent attack on Pathankot Airways, there was a conscious effort to target sensitive assets of the country and also cause large-scale casualties, thus taking the dynamics of terror attack in India a notch higher.
India recently witnessed a terror attack on one of its Air Force base in northern city of Pathankot, in which 7 Indian security personnel were killed. India since then has been urging Pakistan government to take concrete steps against the perpetrators, providing evidences against the terror outfit.
If Pakistan takes concrete action against terrorists on its territory, it will not only improve the bilateral ties between both the countries, but also brings peace and stability in the South Asian region. The Government of India will stand by Pakistan if it takes decisive action against terrorists and their organizations.
The Interior Minister also stated that some nations continue using terrorists to promote their geopolitical agenda and called upon the international community to immediately accept that there is no good terrorism.
Pakistan is holding several functions across the country, including in Kashmir under its occupation, to observe the Kashmir Solidarity Day to reiterate its support for Kashmiris' right to self-determination. This comes at a time when a wave of discontent is sweeping across Pakistan-administered Kashmir, where people have been denied even their basic rights for the last several decades.
Kashmir Solidarity Day will be observed in Pakistan on Friday. Since 1990, Pakistan observes February 5 as a day of protest against what it calls India's occupation in Kashmir. Both India and Pakistan claim Kashmir in full but rule in part. Ahead of Kashmir Solidarity Day, fundamentalist leader Hafiz Saeed repeated his group's resolve to fight for the right of self-determination of Kashmiri people. Hafiz Saeed is head of Jamaat-ud-Dawa, the humanitarian wing of militant group Lashkar-e-Taiba, which has been blacklisted by the United Nations over its links to the 2008 Mumbai attacks that killed 166 people.
हम मायूस होने वाले नहीं हैं। हम इंशाअल्लाह इस बान की मून का पीछा करते रहेंगे। यूनाइटेड नेशन को और इन सब बैनुल अक़वामी इदारों को, अमेरिका समेत सबको इंशाअल्लाह हम इनसे बात करते रहेंगे, मोदी से बात करते रहेंगे और तहरीक आज़ादी के लिए इंशाअल्लाह खून भी पेश करते रहेंगे।
While Islamabad boasts of championing the Kashmiri cause, people in Pakistan-administered Kashmir have often expressed their resentment against years of exploitation by Pakistani officials. Recently, health workers in Muzaffarabad took to streets demanding their salaries, which have been held by the government for months.
8 माह हुए हमें तनख्वाह नहीं मिल रही है। हम भीख तो नहीं मांग रहे हैं, हम अपना हक मांग रहे हैं। हमारे छोटे छोटे बच्चे हैं, दुकानदारों ने हमें सौदा बंद किया है। हमारे बच्चे भूखे रहते हैं, प्यासे रहते हैं। हम एक रात दिन इकट्ठा करते हैं, हम फील्ड में जाके काम करते हैं। अगर हमें तनख्वाह नहीं मिलती है तो हम खुदकशी करेंगे। हमारे कत्ल के जिम्मेदार गवर्नमेंट है।
And it is not only the health department but employees in other departments have also been facing similar problems in the region. Successive Pakistani regimes have argued that Kashmir's political future must be determined in accordance with the wishes of its people. Yet its own constitutional provisions preclude all political choices to people of this region.
Moving on, Afghanistan has invited Indian business community to invest in the war-torn country. Even Pakistan and China have also been jostling for a foothold.
Afghan Chief Executive Officer Abdullah promised an investment-friendly environment to Indian business fraternity. Asserting his country's commitment to free market and private sector development, Abdullah said there are multitude of opportunities in various sectors in Afghanistan.
Economic potential and dynamism within the continent is shifting from east to south. More so, it becomes even more important to opt for collaborative approach and work together in an increasingly competitive world. Our need at this time is to benefit from the process of globalization through deeper regional integration.
Abdullah expressed hope that the proposed Afghanistan-Iran-India transit agreement centered around the strategic Iranian port of Chabahar would happen in near future, which will provide a gateway for Indian companies seeking to do business in Afghanistan and Central Asia.
Afghanistan holds a key position to unlock new economic potentials in the region by providing transit routes and a hub for energy supplies from the energy-rich Central Asia to the energy market of South Asia, a scenario with win-win potential for all stakeholders.
India is one of the leading donor nations to Afghanistan and the largest in South Asia nation. But trade between India and Afghanistan stood at just $683 million in 2013 and 14. Afghanistan is seeking to revive its business and trade sector after it became a member of World Trade Organization in December.
Diplomatic tension between Pakistan and Bangladesh has been brewing of late. Bangladesh has accused Pakistan of violating Geneva Convention by picking up officials of the Bangladesh High Commission in Islamabad and detaining him for around 7 hours on Monday.
In a protest note, the Bangladeshi government has stated that instead of providing security and protection to the High Commission official, Pakistani law enforcement dangerously harassed him, sources revealed. Jahangir Hussain, personal officer of press section in Bangladesh High Commission in Islamabad, went missing for 7 hours on Monday before he returned home. According to reports, he alleged that he was forcefully picked up by plainclothes men and they did not reveal their identity while detaining him. The note called the incident very alarming and matter of grave concern. The incident happened hours after a Pakistan official was arrested by police in Dhaka. The Pakistani staff member was allegedly carrying 3,500 Indian rupees and police were interrogating him to know if he was carrying the currency legally. Diplomatic ties between Dhaka and Islamabad have soured after Bangladesh started executing the war criminals who actively collaborated with the Pakistan army in the genocide of some 3 million Bangladeshis and the rape of thousands of women during 1971 Liberation War. Last month, Pakistan has expelled Bangladesh's diplomat Moshumi Rahman reportedly as a counteraction after Bangladesh asked Islamabad to recall its diplomat Farina Arshad from its High Commission in Dhaka. Arshad was recalled following allegations of her involvement in financing terrorist activities in Bangladesh.
Sri Lanka on Thursday observed the 68th anniversary of Independence Day in a grand function. The might of security forces of the country were in full display in a function led by President Sirisena. Cultural performances too showcased national unity. The country paid honor to all members of our security forces who sacrificed their lives in this war. Sri Lanka gained independence on British rule on this day in 1948.
එම යෝජනා සඳහා අපි මුහුණ දෙන්නේ අපේ රාජ්‍යයේ ගෞරවය ආරක්ෂා කිරීම සඳහා අපේ රටේ ජනතාවගේ ගෞරවය ආරක්ෂා කිරීම සඳහා අපේ ත්‍රිවිධ හමුදාවේ ගෞරවය ආරක්ෂා කිරීම සඳහා ලෝකේ පිළිගත් ත්‍රිවිධ හමුදාවක් බවට අපේ ත්‍රිවිධ හමුදාව පත් කර ගැනීම සඳහා ලෝකයේ එක්සත් ජාතීන්ගේ සංවිධානයේ ප්‍රමුඛ සියලු ජාත්‍යන්තර සංවිධාන සහ සියලු රාජ්‍යයන් අපේ රට ගෞරවයෙන් පිළිගැනීම සඳහා ඒ යෝජනාවලට අපි මුහුණ දීලා ඒවා ඉතාමත්ම ඉවසීමෙන් සංයමයකින් හික්මීමෙන් අපි ඒ සඳහා ක්‍රියා කරන්නේ කියන එක ඉතාම පැහැදිලිව සඳහන් කරන්නට ඕනේ.
Well, that's the way it was in South Asia this evening. Before we conclude, the top stories once again. Sri Lanka celebrates 68th Independence Day. IMF agrees to delay privatization of Pakistan International Airlines. And Bangladesh accuses Pakistan of violating Geneva Convention amid souring diplomatic ties. Now our viewers can watch the show on SouthAsiaNewsline.com. They can also visit us on Facebook.com/SAsiaNewsline and follow us on Twitter @SAsiaNewsline. That's all in tonight's edition. We'll see you same time tomorrow. Good night.